about to go down.
Lovely pass, and here he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too, with the Netherlands.
Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix. Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden, Barrett, and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of the Sport Orbit, where you get the latest in the world of sport. We'll not just give you the raw, we'll dissect, analyze, and give you the intrigue behind the scene of the story. I am Salifu Usman, your host for today's edition. I'm not alone. I'll be joined by my colleague, Olawale Ayeni from the Manchester, who will join us in the course of the program. And in today's edition, we have a whole lot of story that we'll be dissecting for you. Today, the week 16 of the Nigeria Premier League, of the Nigeria Professional League, will be underway, and with table toppers River United and second place Plateau United facing a tough test in Kaduna and Makurdi respectively. Also, Osita Shukwu has come out to clearly to clarify that the Nigerian Basketball Federation has no legal document called constitution. This, and at the same time, the Ghanaian coach Otto Addo will be listing his 25-man squad for the double header against the Super Eagles come tomorrow. That is a whole lot of stuff that will be dissecting, and many more that will come your way into this edition. The title credentials of the Nigerian Professional League table topper, River United, will face a tough test when they confronted the Kano Pillars at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium, Kaduna, this afternoon. At the same time, the second place, Plateau United, will also face Lobi Stars in Makurdi. So the two teams who are neck to neck on the table, with the River United topping the league with 32 points, followed by Plateau United, who are second on the league with 1 point. Both of them face a tough task against Kano Pillars and Lobi Stars respectively. So what this means that both teams, for River United to maintain their top position, they need all to go all out against the Kano Pillars and beat Kano Pillars in their own home front to maintain the top. Any slip and the Plateau United get a victory against the Lobi Stars, that will automatically slip them to the second position while Plateau United will take over. And in the event that the two of them drop the points, then third player Remo Star will also mounting the pressure to come close on the top of the table. So, Olawale Ayeni, are you extra?
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon, Wale.
Good afternoon, Salifu. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Okay, you are far away from the home, but I believe you'll be following closely what is happening in the domestic league. So the table toppers, River United, and the second place, Plateau United, will face a tough test this afternoon, while River United will confront the Kano Pillars and the Plateau United will Lobi Stars. So how do you see these two top matches this afternoon, and what is your impression, what is your analysis about the two matches?
Of course, it's going to be a mouth-watering clash in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Having seen, the likes of Eyimba getting to play, Raymond Stars. We saw them, Raymond Stars fire with all cylinders in the first 3 games of the NPFL matches. Also, we are going to be seeing, Kano Pillars versus Rivers United, table toppers, match in that particular one. It's a solid, game. It's actually, 10 minutes played in that particular match, and it's 0-0-0. The Mesugida are actually, playing, in home. So it shows that their fans would actually give them, that confidence, going against this top, rated Rivers United side. That's not been easy, for both teams in the current NPFL season, despite the fact that Rivers United are sitting atop in the league table with 33 points from 16 games, and also Kano Pillars have not been finding their rhythm in the Nigerian Professional Football League, despite the fact that they actually employ the services of Salisu Yusuf. And in this current season, you can see them on the table. They are in 14th place. This is not where Kano Pillars are used to be in the days of when Kano Pillars are really getting their right form. So at this point in time, Kano Pillars need to get all the massive points in this particular game to regain the confidence of their fans, telling them that despite the fact that they are getting it very, very difficult in this season, looking at their performance, they have just won just 5 games from 16 games. They have actually lost about 7 games. They have drawn 4 matches. It shows that they're not really doing well in the NPFL league. So the onus lie on Salisu Yusuf to actually rescue his job, because at this point in time, it's not, if he does not actually deliver the result for the Masungudas, I think they will have no choice than to actually show him the exit door. But we know that Salisu Yusuf is a very, very experienced coach in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Just looking at the other matches going on right now at this point in time, Sunshine Stars are leading Heartland 1-0 in that particular match. We saw also Castina.
Excuse me, looking at the Salisu Yusuf that you just mentioned, even the fans of the Kano Pillars are beginning to blame the too impressive of the Kano Pillars on Salisu Yusuf, because as you rightly say, he's an experienced coach, no doubt about it. He has seen it all in the Nigeria Professional League, but it appears that his appointment for the Kano Pillars is not working.
We know he's a very, very experienced, coach in the NPFL, but at this point in time, I think he's gradually, getting to lose his grip on in the locker room of the Kano Pillars, because we expect Kano Pillar with, with a fine form in that preseason game. We saw them winning the Presidential Cup during the beginning of the season. So we thought they are going to go into this current season with that same momentum, getting to get all the needed points, and eventually getting to win the Nigerian Professional Football League. But at this point in time, reverse has been the case. That have been, for me, that have been in 14th position. It's just close to the relegation zone at this point in time. So I feel Salisu Yusuf need to get his rhythm back. He need to talk to the players. They need to start, turning good results, getting to win, home games. We know this particular game against Rivers United is going to be difficult, but they need to win the games to restore the confidence of their fans. But going forward, if you don't get to win this game, Salisu Yusuf might just be on his way out in Kano Pillars if a sports commission like Kano Pillars, who are result oriented, they want to make sure that Kano Pillars remain in the Nigerian Professional Football League.
Yes, we heard from Wale Ayamide and Kano Pillars currently sitting on the 14th position. For them to maintain their top position, to maintain their status in the Premier League, they need to. And the best way for Coach Salisu is to prove that he still remains the relevant coach, and the one who has an experienced coach, as Wale rightly say, he need to prove against Rivers United, who are the table toppers and who at the same time who have performed marvelously well in the current season. Looking at the same time, even Lobi Stars, who are going to face the second place Plateau United, are also sitting on the 12th position on the log. Both Lobi and Kano Pillars are top team in the Nigerian League, but unfortunately this season, these two clubs are not too fantastic. These two northern clubs are not too fantastic impressive in the season. And the best way for them to prove, they need to get the result against these two. They need to get the result today, as the match is currently going on, against Rivers United, and at the same time against Plateau United in Kaduna and Makurdi, respectively. Then, while if you are also conversant with the crisis in the Nigerian basketball, now. The former board member in Musa Kida-led board, Ochita Nwachukwu, has come out to say that there is nothing called legal document in the Nigerian basketball called constitution. That according to him, that the document that is being branded around by the Musa Kida-led board was never approved by any Congress of the Nigerian Basketball Federation. That is just a document, and to him, there is no any legal binding called constitution. So, what do you make of this?
Of course, we all know, the crisis, rocking the Nigerian Basketball Federation has been, lingering for a very long time now. Since 2017, crisis has been actually rocking at the Nigerian Basketball Federation. We thought that the sports ministry were going to use, their good office to actually ensure that the crisis come to an end due to, the election that was supposed to bring, new members. But it's just so sad. But at this point in time, so many stakeholders, even basketball administrators, have argued that FIBA has actually, adopted, the constitution, set up by, the Kida Musa led board when they were, before this, before this election that was just held, some few months ago. But at this point in time, we don't really need a blaming game. We don't actually want a blaming game. We want our basketball federation should be free from crisis. We saw, the female team, the Tigress, they actually defied all odds for them to qualify for the World Cup. Also, looking at the men, also they are going into qualification at this point in time. We don't need distraction. This is the right time for the sports ministry to actually, put the crisis in the Nigerian Basketball Federation to bed. Not just the Nigerian Basketball Federation that is, punching into crisis. Looking at the Athletic Federation of Nigeria also into crisis. Badminton Federation also into crisis. Even the NFF also crisis also right, left, and center for the sports ministry. I think there is a high time for the sports minister to actually sit down in a round table with critical stakeholders to ensure that this crisis in the Nigerian sports sector has been, resolved for us to actually, get to move forward. If not, if we don't get to resolve all this crisis, I smell danger. I smell danger in the nearest future because it will not actually go on well for sports generally in Nigeria. And also, what will be the legacy of the current sports minister after he must have actually, getting to leave the office at the end of 2023.
The right question. What will be the legacy of the current sport ministers when all the sport federations are busy in the crisis? Now, the sport federations, if you are waiting for the minister or the minister of youth and sport to put to end the matter, that means the crisis will be there on. But it appears that the sport ministry has no solution to the crisis going on in the basketball. Just like basketball, Nigeria basketball have no peace in the last 5 years, and the crisis continue. So, and from what I'm finding, Nwachukwu, who is the member of the Skida-led board, has come out to say that even the alleged document that people are alleging that it was adopted by FIFA, saying that there was never any document to approve by the Congress of the Nigerian Basketball, and FIFA cannot adopt any document if the Congress of the Nigerian Basketball did not approve just a document called Constitution. So, by Oshita, who is now a vice president of the Match-led faction, has come out to say that there's no any constitution, and the only concern that they have was the one midwife by a Tijani Babangida-led board, and to him, even that one was also rejected by the Congress of the Basketball board. So it means there's no document, there's no any legal constitution in the Nigeria basketball as it is. So we're going for a short break. Then when we come back, there's a whole lot of story that we're giving back.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that short break. The Black Star of Ghana coach Otu Ado is set to name his 25-man squad for the two-legged after World Cup playoff against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Nanado have decided the player he wanted to use for the qualifiers, and the players that he want to use are likely to be dominated by the players who play in the just concluded AFCON 2020 in Cameroon, with Ghana and at the group stage. So Olawale Ayani, we are the World Cup qualifiers against between the Black Stars of Ghana and the Super Eagles of Nigeria is fast approaching, and it appeared the Ghanaian coach Adu has completed his man and the player he wanted to use. So he wanted to make known his performance for tomorrow, come Thursday. So what is your view about this match, all important World Cup cracker between the two West African giants?
Of course, it's going to be a cracker when the Nigerian Super Eagles, get to battle the Black Stars of Ghana. This is it's not just qualifying for the World Cup. It's about bragging rights. We know that the history of Nigeria and the Black Stars of Ghana has a rich history when it comes to football. So it's going to be a cracker, a fight to finish, no doubt about it. Ado will be actually seeking for his best leg to play the Nigerian Super Eagles. But we know that players like their captain, talking about Ayu, will not be playing due to the red card. He actually got in that in their last match of the group campaign, so he's out of that particular match. That is for me one of the top players. But not forgetting Thomas Partey that plays for Arsenal. They have a whole lot of fantastic players who are players for Leicester City, play for Crystal Palace. So they have this robust team that can actually give the Nigerian Super Eagles a run for their money. We know it was a totally an upset for them to actually crashed out in the AFCON 2021 right there in Cameroon. But as it stands now, it's not just going to be because they will be coming from a revenge mission due to the fact that they didn't actually qualify to the knockout stage. But also Nigeria also know what is on ground for them if they get to qualify and if they get to lose. We saw how formidable they played, and also the coming of Emmanuel Amonike, joining Austin Eguavon for me is a good one coming from the NFF. It shows that they know what they're actually doing, and they want the Nigerian Super Eagles to qualify. So it's not going to be easy. We must start the preparation now at this point in time because the first leg is just in about 3 weeks' time. We need to go to Accra, not just getting to draw that particular match. We should play to win. And also, when we return to Abuja, we should also play to win. So, all hands must be on deck to ensure that Nigerian Super Eagles get to Qatar 2020 at the end of the two-legged game. Salifu.
Okay, here from Raleigh, all hands must be on deck to ensure that the Super Eagles get beat with the two-legged affair. But by the performance of these two teams, the Super Eagles were part of the group stage of the competition, while the Ghanaians were strongly wobbly in the first round where they existed. But the Super Eagles who were starting in their group stage, but in the second round match against the Tunisia, they couldn't what would you say who stand on the favorite side to get to the quarter to get the victory in the two-legged affair?
Of course, it's going to be difficult for both teams. It's not going to be a roller coaster for each another team at this point in time. On the paper, looking on the paper at this point in time, both teams stand a chance to actually get to win. But the Nigerian Super Eagles are the favorite. Looking at their last performance and also looking at what Ghana actually played. Looking at the Nigeria group, we had team like Egypt who actually went straight to the finals of the competition. We had teams like South Sudan, Guinea-Bissau. Also, Ghana didn't actually face a strong opponent in that particular draw. So it shows that on paper, Nigeria has that particular stand for them to actually win. Looking at the looking at the previous matches that were played with Ghana, we saw 57 matches. Nigeria has been victorious in 16 matches with 18 draws, while the likes of Black Star have actually get to win 23 games out of those 57 matches. So it shows that looking at the history books, Ghana have at the upper head, but looking at the current form, Nigeria is better than Ghana. So all this will actually, play a major part in that particular game. But it will actually go down to the wire. At this point in time, this is where the team psychologists need to actually come to the table, get to cheer the team up that they can actually do it at this point in time. Nigeria must just be at Qatar 2020, but we should not take Ghana for granted, despite their current, their poor run in the 2021 AFCON. We should take them serious. We should take them as if we are playing, the World Cup final, so that we can able to put all our best and ensure that we come out top at the end of the day.
Thank you very much. We shouldn't take the blast of Ghana for granted. And former Super Eagles winger Tijani Babangida has come out to provide solutions on how the Super Eagles will be able to overcome the Black Star. Tijani Babangida was in Austin Egbabo for Nigeria to get past the Ghana. Egbabo need to select the best strikers. According to him, all the Super Eagles strikers at the moment, both Igalo, Ushime, Sadiq Umar, Taiwo Awoniyi, all of them are backing goals. Even Kelechi Henas, all the Super Eagles, name them, all of them are backing goals in week out for their clubs. But for I think Egbabo is already Deliman, who of this striker is going to be, and Jan is arguing that you should pick his eye and ensure that the best striker is selected against the Black Star. For you to get past, you must score a goal, and for Tijani, you must select the best striker who is scoring the goal. Do you agree with him?
Of course, yes, no doubt about it. In football, you as a coach or as a player, you are as good as your last game. So, even though if it is whoever is actually no good as his last game, who is on top form, that player should be actually be given that chance to lead at the attack. Be it Igalo, be it Victor Seme, be it Umar Sadiq. We need our best leg to actually play that two-legged game. So we are as good as your last match. So the best players who are in current form, not looking as if maybe they have been in the team for so long. We want the best leg in the team during those match days.
Well, thank you very much. Away from that, the Athletic Federation of Nigeria has shifted the date and the venue for all common events scheduled for this weekend in Akure. The new date, the event will now hold in at the Samuel Ogbomodia Stadium in Benin on March 11th. That is upper weekend. That is according to the secretary of the Nigeria Athletic Federation, Adisa Bikwe, say that the change in the date and the venue was necessitated because of the request by the athletes themselves, who complained that they will not be able to meet up the event for this weekend and requested that the program should be shifted forward. And that was why the change in the date is therefore become necessary to accommodate more participants, because it is the first official event of the federation after the first all-comer was cancelled to honor the late former technical director Brown Ibehwele, who died recently, according to Adisa stated. Also, the Track Nations Cup, the Cycling Federation of Nigeria has also invited 6 top cyclists to come ahead of the African Cup of Nations coming up soon. According to the president of the Cycling Federation, Masari, the camp which will hold at the Monsur Abiola National Stadium in Abuja will last till April 18, when the cyclists are expected to depart for the UK for the Nations Cup in Glasgow. The elite female athletes listed for the Nations Cup, according to the secretary, include Shaman Makbara, Asarat AJ Nwasiri, and Tawaki Yaki, and Mary Samuel, and Grace Ayuba, Treasure Koshus, and Taraba Ungwebo are all make the list. Meanwhile, the Italian coach is being seconded to the Cycling Federation of Nigeria by a friend of the federation to assist in preparing the cyclists for the competition. Masari said that the 2 local coaches, including the technical director Bashir Mohammed, will understudy the Italian. Okay, well, if you are still there, the sport giant, the German sportwear German has also subscribed. If you look going by the crisis that is going on between Ukraine and the Russian invasion in Ukraine, has also, just like the FIFA and the UEFA, has suspended the Russia from all football competition ready for now, and at the same time, even the IOC has also recommended that all the sporting federations should also suspend Russian athletes from competing in any sporting activity. Now, the sportwear manufacturers, Adidas, has also come up to suspend their relationship with Russia. So, if you have been following, I don't know if you are following the crisis between the Russian invasion in Ukraine. What do you make up of all this action that is coming on the way of Russian as a result of their invasion in Ukraine.
Go at this point in time. We know it's not been, it's not a funny scene at this point in time where we get to see, Russia getting to invade, Ukraine at this point. But I feel this is the best way is to actually sanction them so that they will actually feel the weight to ensure that they get to, end the war at this point in time. We don't want more people to actually die in this particular war. We want, Russia, to come to a roundtable meeting with Ukraine and see how they can be able to, iron it out at this point in time. We know, sports is one of the biggest, biggest activity, getting to boost the economy of both Russia and Ukraine. And at this point in time, the sport cannot actually go on because of the ongoing war. So I would say it's a right move from FIFA, from Adidas, from even so many countries are actually terminated that some of that bilateral relationship with Russia due to the ongoing invasion by them in Ukraine. So I feel that's the best way. I feel other also multinational organizations, countries also should join in this queue to ensure that Russia gets to stop the invasion that is actually currently going on in Ukraine.
Yes, Russia needs to stop invasion in as much as most of these world bodies are sanctioning the Russia, suspending their relationship with Russia. Yes, it's one of the control, but because all those things, the who will suffer the effect is the athlete and the player themselves, who their life depend on depend on sport. So just like Wilder said, the Russians and the Ukraine need to come to the round table, that dialogue and settle the making because we don't want any war in any way. But the whole world is already feeling the impact of the crisis. Now, another impact of the crisis is that Abramovich is offering Chelsea for sale. Abramovich is now willing to consider any interest for Chelsea. It appears that his first step that he's control of the club, hoping that will waive off a sanction from the UK government. But yet, the UK government is still insisting that they are going to make a sanction on him. Now, Abramovich is considering selling the club. So, what do you make of this, Wale? Is it the best time for Chelsea fans?
Of course, it's not the best time for the Blues fan at this point in time. Having knowing that Abramovich actually built the team from scratch. He actually took them from when they were actually low in their low level, and he shaped the team, and he actually brought the team to the limelight, which people are actually celebrating at this point in time. So, having Abramovich getting to sell Chelsea is not a good thing for him, being one of the biggest shareholder in that particular club at this point in time. We know he actually released a press release saying that he has handed over the organization to a foundation, but we know that it's not something that is actually good for you to actually hand over your business, looking your business going off in front of your face, and you can't actually do nothing just because of the crisis ongoing back home. So at this point in time, it's going to be difficult for Abramovich because if he gets to sell Chelsea at this point in time, new buyers will have different mindsets, getting to approach things in the Stamford Bridge. But at this point in time, it's just so sad seeing Abramovich getting to consider selling Chelsea. They just actually returned from winning the Club World Cup. We thought that they were going to enjoy that celebration. We saw them losing the finals of the Carabao Cup to Liverpool. Also, that pain was not enough. Now Abramovich considering to sell Chelsea. I wonder how Chelsea fans will actually feel with this news coming from the top man himself, talking about Abramovich.
Well, this is not the best time for the Blue fans. Just like what you like to say, because Abramovich, since he took over the club in 2004, he has successfully transformed the club into a very massive and a top club in Europe. Chelsea has, since they have won in the course since then, between 2004 and now, have won Champions League 2 times, won several Premier League titles. Currently, they are the world champion, having just winning the World Cup club competition, and now the man who is behind the scene who has ensured that the Chelsea progress is now offering to sell the club just because of what? The Russia invasion in the Ukraine. And that is why nobody is willing or supporting in any crisis, in any more for crisis. But when the crisis a lot of people, a lot of things suffer. And now Abramovich business is no longer in stable, and is considered one of his prime assets, which is the Chelsea club, is now offering the sales to sell the club. And who knows if he sells the club, whether the sales will be the same, the sales will see today will be the same, because the magic he has been able to do to ensure that Chelsea remain one of the top clubs in Europe. I don't know who, is it the Arabian or the Brazil, or I don't know, or the Chinese, or where the buyer is coming from, that will ensure that Chelsea maintain their status quo. So, but we are here to see, we hope the Russian leaders will be able to hold his gun and go into the roundtable dialogue to ensure this crisis come to an end, because the Russian citizens are suffered from all fronts just because of this his action or inaction on the invasion in Ukraine. Then, before we go, some matches were decided in the English Premier League, English FA Cup yesterday, and now some matches also will be off today in the English Premier FA Cup. So if my producer have the fixtures of the Premier of the FA Cup, let's see the fixtures of the FA Cup before we leave. Well, my producer is telling me that the time is off. Then that is the most we can take for today's edition of the show, where we came back for more fantastic gifts. Wale, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you for having me, Salifu. Have a good day.
Thank you. It's nice seeing you again.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.